What up, family? This is your brother Manning, and here is my top 10 surprising teams of the NBA for the 2022-23 season. This is a 5 East, 5 West. This is the teams that surprised me, and whether if they're on the playoffs or not. But these are the teams that I felt that they were improved, and even including myself, that really put the league on notice. The first team I would say that was the most surprising team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, they were eliminated by New York Knicks, but this team had a very good regular season. They won 51 wins. That was fourth in the East, 7 games improvement from last year, in which they won 44 wins. They made a huge trade last offseason when they got Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz. He became an All-Star. They became an All-Star, and they were one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. They were fourth in the NBA in that category. It was also the first time in 25 years of the Cavaliers actually make the playoffs without the service of LeBron James. That was in 1998 when they had Sean Kemp and a young Sajunas Ilgauskas. But unfortunately, they were eliminated by the New York Knicks. But again, that was a hell. The Cavaliers had a pretty good season. Hopefully, they will build up through last season's season. Hopefully, they will improve in the playoffs next year and years to come. My second surprising team are the New York Knicks. The team won 47 games, 10 games improvement from last year. They started the season slow. They started the season 10 and 13, and everybody was clamoring at this job. But the team wound up winning 37 and 22 in the last 59 games. The arrival of Jalen Brunson from free agency last summer really helped the Knicks because they were desperately trying to get a point guard, and he has barely basically exceeded expectations. So he averaged 24 points and did out 66. And Julius Randle is having an All-Star year, averaging 25, 10, and 4, which he's one of four players to do that. The others are Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. Um, and hopefully the Knicks will continue to do well in the playoffs as they're in the second round against Miami Heat, a familiar foe from the 1990s, which hopefully the Knicks will win. I'm a Knicks fan. Just keep that in mind. Go Knicks. Now let's go to the other third team that surprised me, the Atlanta Magic. Yes, they didn't make the playoffs, but they kind of improved. They won 14 games better. They won 14 games um, more than last year. Overall, 34 to 48. The arrival of Pablo Vancaro, the number one pick, exceeded expectations. He averaged 20 points this season, and also the improvement of Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., Cole Anthony, Greg Anthony's son, and as well as Markel Fultz, who was once the number one pick of the draft back in 2017. And also the most interesting thing, they were 3-1 against the Boston Celtics, the second best team in the Eastern Conference. The next team is the Brooklyn Nets. This team won 45 and 37, one game better than last year. Last year they were eliminated in the first round by the Boston Celtics in 5 games in the first round. They start the season slow. They fired Steve Nash 5 games of the season, and Jock Brown did a very excellent job. They were top 10 defense. And then they made a huge splash by trading their superstars Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, for players like Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Mikal Bridges, who really helped the Nets. Really got the Nets into the sixth seed, even though they were 15 and 18 post trade, but at least that they're building something for the future, and hopefully that Brooklyn will become a good team in the years to come, just like the Knicks. Who knows? They'll probably face each other in the playoffs soon. Now, let's go to another team, the Boston Celtics. This year they won 57 games, 6 games improvement from last year. That team last year they went to the NBA Finals, and at one point they were up 2 games to 1 against the eventual champion Golden State Warriors. They were top five in offense and defense respectively, and Jason Tatum became the first Celtic. Yes, the first Celtic to average 30 points in a season. Yes, Not even legends like Larry Bird, John Havlicek, and Paul Pierce never averaged 30. They could average 25 through 29, but they never averaged 30 in a season. Good for him. Now the Western Conference. We go to the Sacramento Kings. Yes, Kings fans, Yes, Kings fans, you really surprised me. Unfortunately, you most likely be eliminated in the first round, but that's a hero there. But you had a hell of a season. You won 48 games, 18 games more improvement than last year. You finally make the playoffs after 16 straight years of not making it. Um, Mike Brown, who is the coach of the year, brought a winning culture to Sacramento, something they hadn't had since the days of Chris Webber back in the 2000s. Um, the next team, the LA Lakers. The Lakers finally improved this season, 10 games better than last year. They won 43 games. They start the season 2-10. Um, the last time that the team made the playoffs despite start 2-10 with the Nets were when the franchise were in New Jersey back in the mid 2000s. The trade of Russell Westbrook, Damon Jones, and John Pascano Anderson and Patrick Beverly for players like Mo Bamba, D'Angelo Russell, Rudy Hachimura, and Malik Beasley really turned the Lakers season around. They're in the playoffs and most likely they will eliminate Memphis in the first round, hopefully by tonight. And let's see how it goes. The other LA team is the LA Los Angeles Clippers. They won 44 games. They're in the playoffs. Back in the playoffs as the fifth seed. Last year, players like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George missed a lot of games due to an injury. Both Leonard and George averaged nearly 24 points a game, almost 24 points a game. They got Russell Westbrook for the trade deadline to boost their bench. Unfortunately, they were eliminated by the Phoenix Suns in the first round in 5 games, and hopefully that they'll come back strong next year. The Denver Nuggets. Right now, the Denver Nuggets is my team to pick to win a championship. Now Milwaukee's out of the first round. Um, they won 53 games, 5 games improvement from last year. Last year they were eliminated by the Warriors in the first round in 5 games. Nikola Jokic is nearly averaging 25, 12, and 10, nearly 10 assists. The return of Jamal Moore and Michael Porter Jr. is just boosting the Nuggets into a contender. I believe that if Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. were healthy, I think the Denver Nuggets could have at least got to the finals at least once. I really believe because that team haven't got far beyond the second round since that 2020 bubble playoffs when they got to the conference finals. And my last team will be the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, they kind of been the most improved team. They won 40 games, even though they missed the playoffs, but they kind of improved um, um, by over 10 games. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander averaged 31 points. It became an All-Star this season, and also the improvement of Josh Giddey, their sophomore, and rookie Jalen Williams as well, and they were top 5 on offense in the NBA. So there you have it. There's my top 10 surprising teams of the NBA. Feel free to like this video. I'll upload more videos coming, mostly from basketball and other sports. Anyway, see you next time. Enjoy your weekend.